as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to go a second year under Lovie Smith without a playoff appearance. Let me ask you a question here, Matt, just for a second. This is future tripping just a little bit, but if Lovie Smith does not have a winning record next year, is he out of Tampa Bay?
Yeah, you mean through next year?
Yes.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's gone.
3 years is enough time to prove that you can at least take your team and make them a winner.
Yeah. Hey, it's enough time to get your team on the right track and get at least over 500.
I think his job is essentially safe at this point, and he's done a pretty good job with the team that he has, especially coming from the number 1 overall draft pick with Jameis Winston. But now there's the salary cap concerns. As we know, Doug Martin's going to be asking for top dollar. We know that people like Vincent is going to be asking for top dollar. We know that offensive line has 2 free agents who are also going to be asking for top dollar. And does this team have enough to hold itself together in this transition to that pivotal year for Lovie Smith? Let's throw a very early bold prediction. Does the Bucs hold it together by the end of next year, and does Lovie Smith still have his job?
Yes, the Bucs are much better next year, and I think they get into the playoffs next year, and Lovie Smith keeps his job on the back of a much stronger defense.
Okay. And here's the next question. As most people are completely unaware of this, that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were essentially AFC. When they came into the league, they came into the league as in the AFC. With the possible division realignments of all the things that are going on with this move to LA, you can't have 2 teams in the same market on the same division in LA. And it sounds like we got the Rams, Oakland, as well as San Diego, all vying for this one spot. Do we see possibly the Rams or the Seahawks? I'm sorry, not the Rams, but the Seahawks or Tampa Bay possibly going back to the AFC West?
I'd love to have the Seahawks.
2 times a year, we'd both be having our
That would be fantastic.
Having our rivalry.
That'd be great. That would be amazing. I'd be very happy with that.
But then you get beat twice a year.
Well, not last year when we played.
Yeah, but if you remember right...
Wait, did we win or lose last year when we played?
The record
won?
is that you won. However, there was a controversial call at the end of the game where Doug Baldwin was pass interfered, and the league even stated that should have been a pass interference call at the last play of the game where the pass was missed.
I don't remember that at all.
No, of course you wouldn't.
So basically, you lost to us last year.
And they went on a 7-game winning streak after that and then ended up in the Super Bowl.
So maybe the Chiefs help motivate them with a crushing defeat at our hands.
And we'll see. Ultimately, at this point, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, nice catch there between 2 defenders, right on the 3 or 4 yard line. Was he touched, or did he drop that ball inadvertently? What the heck just happened there?
Is it Mike Evans?
I think it was. Oh, okay, they gave it to him at the 3. Tampa Bay could actually score and make this a game. Jameis Winston rolls out, throws, and finds the end zone. Good old, can't see that.
Luke
Stalker. So now we have a possibility of a game coming back. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are showing an ounce of life. That was a hell of a long drive to happen in just such a quick amount of time.
They still have a whole 4th quarter. They could come back. We'll see how this goes.
We'll see. So, guys, Shock the Jock, we have yet to get enough submissions. We would love to hear what you have to say. A $26,000 engagement ring is shocking, but we're not going to count that because it does not count as a Christmas gift. And Matt, do you have anything else that you would like to add in before we begin our wrapping up of tonight's show?
Nope.
I know we don't really have a whole lot to discuss, do we?
No, this was good. We talked about a little racism. We talked about a little Kansas City Chiefs and a little Seattle, and I think that was good. Well done.
Okay, I guess I need to hear from you because we talked about this while you weren't here. We made a wager, Frank and I, on who is going to win the NFC least, which also known as the AFC East. 3 teams are tied for a record of 6-7 in that division: Washington, Philadelphia, and New York. Which one of those 3 teams is going to the playoffs?
New York.
Why?
Because I think that they can put it together against the teams that they're playing. Versus Philadelphia plays Arizona this weekend, so I think they drop a game there. Washington, I was looking at this actually earlier. Let's see if I'm correct. Washington, let's see here, I'll tell you in 2 seconds, plays. Washington plays Buffalo, and they're playing at home, so they could actually win that game. But, it might be Washington, actually. I think this weekend is going to be key to that because it looks, if one team can come out and even get a 1-game lead, it's going to be hard for the other teams to come back. So Washington plays Buffalo, New York plays Carolina, which is, but maybe New York surprises them and beats them. I don't know. And Philly plays Arizona. It'll probably be Washington. Yeah, my bad.
That was my pick as well. I think Frank picked the New York Giants. One other question. The NFC North is still in contention as Green Bay and Minnesota continue to swap positions back and forth on that. You're saying Green Bay, no doubt?
Yeah.
Really? Is that because the reemergence of Eddie Lacy?
Yeah. It definitely is. You know how I feel about that. Eddie Lacy is the key to that offense clicking well. I think that defense is playing a little better. I think that Rodgers has started to step it up the last couple of games, but really it comes down to Eddie Lacy. When he's playing, you have to respect that, and you have to bring people up. And those Green Bay receivers, we're giving them a lot of trouble. Look, we're so hard on the Packers because we expect such big things from them. You're talking about a team that's 9-4. We're not talking about a crappy football team. You're talking about the Green Bay Packers that are 9-4. The reason we're giving them so much crap is because we expect them to be 11-2. That's why we expect them to be otherworldly, like they've been the last couple of seasons. So this is still a 9-4 team and a really, really good team. They go to play the Raiders this weekend, and I think they go and they beat the Raiders. And I think this is a good team. And on the back of Eddie Lacy, they get their offense in a rhythm and in sync, and they continue to win. Yeah, I just don't think that. And Minnesota as well. Let's be honest. Minnesota has no reason to have won this division. They had a game against Seattle. They dropped it. They had a pathetic showing against the Packers. They just cannot come out and show that they're a decent team, and they haven't done it yet. They've had a bunch of opportunities to take that division, and they haven't done it.
Well, the thing about Minnesota, too, is that they have, I would say, the better defense of the two. However, the Green Bay Packers, of course, have the better offense of the two. And when it comes to things like that, I tend to try to give the edge to special teams. And in this case, I don't know who has the better special teams. They both have weaknesses on special teams. And I think that when it comes time for playoff time, special teams becomes a lot more important. Things you don't even realize, such as just average field position. And we're watching special teams do something right now on the Rams game. It looks like this kick is being returned for, just shy at the 2-yard line. What exactly just happened there? It was an amazingly long run, and I just caught the tail end of it. But anyhow, special teams is imperative, as special teams is the defining factor, that extra edge that could put you over another team inside the playoff scenarios. And I don't see either the Green Bay Packers or the Minnesota Vikings doing well in the playoffs, regardless of where they are, because of their lack of polish on the special teams. Do you kind of agree with that assessment?
No, you lost me talking about all the special teams. I understand what you said about it, but no, I think Green Bay's going to win because they can run the ball.
Okay.
You gave a long-winded explanation
I did
of
with
special teams.
I was totally
and I followed you for a second, and then I was like, "Oh, special teams."
Yeah, I know. I was blown away by that long return. What was that? 103 yards. That was not a touchdown. I mean, that was a long, long return by Cunningham, Benny Cunningham of the
102
Rams. What's
Come
that?
on, give it to Todd Gurley. Get in the end zone, Gurley. That would be fantastic.
Matt's rooting for his fantasy player who he needs some extra points for.
Get a garbage touchdown out of this. That would be awesome for Gurley to get a garbage second touchdown. He's hit a bunch of games where he didn't come through. So let's have a game where he does nothing and he does come through. That's awesome.
Yeah, and Gurley stuffed at the line. So we got a lot of things going on, and guys, tomorrow night we're going to be talking two things. One, we're going to be doing our picks, and we're going to be going over each and every game, and then we're going to also be talking about what goes on with the NFL news and stuff like that heading into Week 15, and what the injury report looks like for those games. So you're going to get a complete recap and a complete synopsis of what to expect for Week 15. And Week 15 guarantees to be very eventful, as a lot of teams are going to be working to clinch playoff spots and home field advantages. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up a little bit earlier than we normally do, because we are just running out of material and just trying to find things to talk about, and it's starting to turn into bad radio. Matt, do you have anything else?
It's 10 o'clock. I don't know what you're talking about. 9:59. Good stuff.
Okay. With that, I'm Nash.
And I'm Matt.
And you're listening to NFL Talk. Have a nice night. We'll catch you again tomorrow.
That was NFL Talk Late Night from Jock Journal with the biggest morons in the country. If you aren't asleep already, it might be time to get to bed. However, I'm sure most of you are still looking for me on AshleyMadison.com.